like this is the
Yeah, we will. Hopefully, we'll definitely put some flowers.
all right, so this is us entering the river walk. Now, we've been on 2 river walks in this area before. This is the 3rd. I did not know how to get onto this until I was talking to my chiropractor, and he said, hey, you should go here. And I said, I don't know how to get on there. So he told me how, and here I am. Now, this is not as big as the other ones. This is only about 3.5 miles, a little over 3.5 miles. But since I have to go to the end and then back, this will end up being a 7-mile trip. I should be averaging about 10 miles per hour. I'm not trying to go fast, trying to actually go slow. So it should still take an hour. Since I won't be going 50, or my goal is not to go 15. My goal is to go closer to 10. Now, the temperature today is in the upper 40s. It's going to be in the 50s sometime today, get up to 53, 54. Right now, the thermostat in my car says it's 48. I got no idea. It feels kind of cold. The wind's blowing probably about 8 or 9 miles per hour. At times it gusts up to maybe 15. So it gets a little cold with those gusts. But being in here in the trees, maybe I won't have as many gusts. Now, it has been raining for the last couple of days, so won't be surprised to see some water on the route. One of the things that I liked about this particular route, and the reason why I wanted to get on it, is that this route comes closest to my house. And I've been trying to figure out how I could get onto it on this far end that we're currently heading towards. If it was possible. It runs right next to the railroad tracks, but I don't know if there's a path next to the railroad track that I could be on. So I'm just going to take this as it is and see how we end up. It's pretty pretty out there. A lot of people do fishing here, so we should see some fishing people. Today is a weekday, and it's getting close to noon, so we may run into some. Now, this is the offshoot I wanted to take. This offshoot here, I believe, takes me closest to the railroad tracks. So let's see what this looks like when we get to the railroad tracks. I'm seeing less people than I thought I would, but when I got here, there's like 40 cars. So you would think that there would be, well, I do see a path of some sort here, but yeah, I don't think that that's going to be useful for me. So that's too bad. I can't get my feet back on the pedals. All right. Well, that's a shame. Well, we can go down here to the other, a little bit further, and see if there's any path down here that would be helpful. At least I believe that was the path. That might not be the one, though, because it seemed like when I was looking at the map, there was actually 2 exits to the right. So maybe that's the first exit, and there'll be another one. Is that somebody fishing out in the middle? Or is it just a bird? I think it's just a big bird. I hope. I think it'd be hard to get out there to fish. Doesn't mean people won't try it. This is very nice. I like it. You can actually hear the water. Well, I can. I'm sure y'all will be able to too. Oh, there's some people. Hello, I'm going to try to pass on your left, or normally. Thank you. Cool. I didn't know he was going by this area. This is a camping area? There's a mobile home park. Looks like these are campers for the most part. One of the reasons for my ride today, or maybe the main reason for my ride, I plan to come out here, but I was also plan to talk a little bit about dementia and e-bikes. I have a bit of a reason to study dementia. My grandfather, last 10 years of his life, he didn't know who any member of the family was. It was especially discerning to me because I was named after him, and therefore I was like his favorite, and they couldn't even remember who I was. Not only that, he had, you know, some people refer to drunks as one of the drunks being a mean drunk. He was a mean dementia patient. Not only did he not know who anybody was, he was angry. He was almost filled constantly with cursing and yelling at the nurses and stuff. It was not pleasant to be around him. It was really hard to ever go visit him because, number one, he didn't know who you were, and you were usually abused. That was very sad, last 10 years of his life. And so that left an impression upon me, and the fact that I don't want to be that person. But how do you prevent that from happening to you? It's been on my mind, but I haven't really tried to figure out how to avoid it. It's kind of like, I know I'm overweight and I'd like to get in weight. But knowing that you should be in weight and actually be able to do something about it are different things totally. So knowing that this is a potential issue in my family, my dad did not develop that. He does not have that. He still knows who I am. He knows who everybody is. He's still the same person he's always been at 96. So it's possible I won't get it, but I'm trying to figure out methods to help ensure that I don't. And so I thought I would share some of my experience or my research from checking it out in relationship to an e-bike. Not in a relationship to all the other things, like you should eat correctly, you should not have inflammation foods, you should find foods that don't create inflammation. And, you know, that's something that probably everybody would know. But I want to look at it from the standpoint of how does it fit into an e-bike? Can an e-bike help prevent or reduce the possibility or severity of dementia? So I'm sharing not from my personal knowledge or any personal experiences, because I don't have any personal direct test subjects that I have been testing. So all I've done is basically read some articles from a Google search, watch 3 or 4 videos on YouTube, and the information I gleaned from that is the information I have. And out of that information, a part of it relates to e-bikes. Now, most people don't talk e-bikes when they're talking about dementia and how to prevent dementia. But they do use two main methods to prevent it or to reduce it. And one is walking, not leisurely walking, but walking with a little bit of ump to you. Not quick, but faster than normal. And the second way is to bike. Those are the two best methods to get exercise that stimulates the blood and helps your brain, which is what you want to do. So that type of stuff is what I'm going to be talking about here. I read some people who are really positive on that it could actually prevent dementia. I'm not so sure I believe that, because I've only run across a couple of people who said that. The rest said it would slow dementia. They said if you are able to delay it 3 or 4 years, being that you're old, maybe something else will kill you. So I'm thinking, well, I guess that could be true. So I'm coming at it from that point that if nothing else, everybody agrees this will delay. And some are hopeful that it will prevent. So this is something that is important to me. It turns out that the number one issue when they polled people in Europe and asked what their number one issue was, it turned out dementia was their number one issue. In the United States, the over 55 crowd, their number one issue is dementia. So you think it might be money or something else as you're growing old, but no, the number one issue in Europe and in seniors in the United States is dementia. So I'm not the only one is concerned about this. I mean, everybody wants to continue to remember things.
Oh wait, before I get into this very far, I need to do the standard disclaimer. I'm not a doctor, and anything that I say is not me knowing stuff, but just repeating what somebody else said. It's not medical advice, nor can I give you medical advice. Everything here is for informational purposes only, and not for a purpose of providing medical advice. You should contact your doctor to obtain advice with respect to any particular health issue or condition. Nothing here should be construed to form a doctor-patient relationship, which certainly should be the case since I'm not a doctor. One of the things that e-bike does, if you're not using the throttle, if you're actually pedaling, which is what I do, you're actually pedaling, it's a great exercise for decreasing the chance of dementia. The actual moving stimulates the brain. So, stop sitting and move around. Now, dementia is an umbrella term, so we get our definition down, for loss of thinking functions in memory, which interferes with your day-to-day life. So that's kind of how I'm defining it in this case. So whenever we talk about things you could do for dementia, exercising of any type is kind of helpful. Getting your heart rate up a little bit. Don't have to get it up a lot, just up a little bit. Is very, very helpful. Therefore, one of the recommended activities is walking. Get out and walk a mile. Well, the problem is I can't walk a mile. So that advice was worthless. So if you can't walk a mile, what do you do? Well, I thought maybe I could bicycle a mile, or maybe 5 miles. But it turns out that area where I'm at, if I had flat ground, I could bicycle 5 miles. But I don't have flat ground, right? I have hilly areas. And so I can't bicycle up. There's too many hills around here. I can't bicycle up. Therefore, bicycling was out also. So I was sitting around one day wondering, if I can't walk and I can't bicycle, what can I do in order to get exercise? I could go to a treadmill, and I've actually gone to a thing and walked on a treadmill for a short period of time. That wasn't very good. I could also go and get on a stationary bike and ride it. It was okay, very boring, but yeah, that would work. And then it came to me I could do the e-biking. E-biking gets me outside, which is good in general. Gets me out of the house. And it's something I can do. I can pedal constantly. I can get my heart rate up over 100 and just do that for an hour and a half of heart rate being over 100. It's pretty nice. I watched a TED Talk that was given by Professor Dr. Henry Rodity. And there he showed 5 main concerns that could lead towards dementia that you need to worry about. Number 1 is inactivity. Number 2 is high blood pressure. Number 3, diabetes. Number 4, smoking. And number 5, something that I have, is overweight. Now, biking is a good exercise that has a low impact of increasing your desire to eat more. But one of the problems that people have noticed that if you're overweight and you would like to lose weight, that people who increase their activity tremendously also get a big increase in appetite. I've noticed that in my little bit. But there are a couple of things you can do that have low impact and little effect on appetite being increased, and that is walking and biking. Those are the 2 best ways in order to get a lot of exercise but not increase your appetite, which is really good for your brain activity. Exercise in general is good for your brain activity. So Dr. Henry tells us there's 5 areas of concern that he has when looking at dementia. I'm not trying to cover all of those areas, but I am trying to focus on how an e-bike would be able to help any of those areas of concern. I see it as an exercise that is given to you in a manner in which many people can do. Mainly because I can do it. You would think walking would be something people could do, but since I can't, I have to focus on something different, which is going to be e-bike. This exercise is good for your muscles, it's good for your bones, it's good for your heart, it helps your blood pressure, improves your mood, it's good for recovery in some cases, some types of recovery. But what we're talking about today, and most importantly, it's good for our brains and helping to avoid or slowing dementia. I really like looking out at the water, the rapids. Kind of soothing.
Y'all can see me coming this time.
Yes, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
So I have the Aventon Aventure,
Cool.
the small medium, and it's the red one. So did you ride here from where you live, or did you transport
Oh,
it?
I transported it.
How are you transporting it?
I purchased something called a Black Widow.
One too, so.
All right, cool.
Hope to see you around again. Bye.
All right.
One of the things I found interesting is I've always thought, and just because you think something doesn't mean it's right, but I always thought what would be best for my brain isn't eating correctly or exercising my body. What I thought would be best for my brain is exercising my brain. I thought it would be like the only thing I needed to worry about. If you're like me, then let me tell you, that is wrong. That is something you need to worry about, but it is not the only thing you need to worry about in order to avoid dementia. Brain training programs actually do help. This includes cognitive skills and physical skills. Now, cognitive skills are skills where you would learn how to program. You maybe learn a new language. You learn analytical skills. Analytical skills are things that allow you to identify and define problems. And then maybe you're able to extract key information from a set of data and come up with good workable solutions that you can implement into your business or practice or life. There's many software programs out there that attempt to work on this function to improve your cognitive skills. And that's what I thought I only needed to have, is to work through those things, like puzzles and stuff.
Hello. Hello. Hey.
But in relationship to bike riding, it can help also. If you plan your route, which is one of the common mistakes that I say, that you don't plan your route, you don't know where you're going. But if you plan your route, that actually helps develop your brain and keeps you from heading towards dementia. If you spend time trying to follow the directions that are given to you by Garmin or your phone, that also develops brain activity. It's helpful in translation. And this actually, in addition to all that, helps you actually in riding your bike. That's good. The physical skills, instead of the cognitive skills, the second one area is physical. The e-bike gives your brain exercise in that it has to work on balancing. And you can't just jump on a bike and ride. You have to also balance it. You also have to avoid obstacles. Those things are a good diminishing task. No, you want to do that. You want to be able to balance. Balancing is good. Good work on your brain, and avoiding obstacles is good also. Because you got to do a lot of calculations. Calculation on your speed, where the item is, how to avoid the item in front of you, how to get around it, watch the things in the road. So there's a lot of things going on. These are good things in order to keep your brain functioning well. But we want to be able to do all that. The e-bike is a way to do that. And for me, it's like the only way I could do that. Since I can't do the walking part, although there's not as much balancing in walking, there are some because you can fall over any moment. Fall off a curb even. I've done that before. So there are balancing and just walking, but the e-bike has a more balancing issue, like riding. Something that I should mention, when I originally was thinking, I didn't think diet would play a tremendous impact in whether or not you end up with dementia or not. What I didn't understand at the time is that intake of food gives you, intaking of the wrong types of food increases inflammation. And increased inflammation is very bad for your brain. You don't want any inflammation. Well, I think maybe some it's helpful, but you want to decrease inflammation as much as you normally can through eating. There are things you can eat that don't make inflammation worse. There's a lot of things you can eat that make it worse. Probably the easiest thing to follow without getting into details is like the Mediterranean diet. It's kind of set up in order to try to decrease inflammation. So that's a simple solution, or a simple explanation of that part. A couple of the doctors that I have is, I can remember their names. Yeah. Dr. Ekberg. He claims that dementia is preventable for most people. Preventable, not slow it down. He believes it's preventable. So therefore, I'm going to try to remember to put his video where he states that it's preventable, that you don't have to get it, in my description. And secondly, I have Dr. Patricia Quinlisk, who discusses that exercising is really good for helping prevent, or not prevent, slow down the onset of prevention. So these are people that both believe exercise is good for you. One believes it can actually prevent. The other believes it will, at minimum, slow down the onset of dementia. So I'll try to put a link to one of their videos. Once you get to one of their videos, you can look at all their other videos that are related. So I'm not going to list all the videos that I've watched, but I'll list a couple. That way you've got something to look at.
Passing on your left, hopefully, somewhere. All right, in between. Let me pass you on the left here. All right, thank you.
So basically, what this is just doing is saying that you should get an e-bike. If you're a senior, you should get an e-bike. Unless you're able to walk fairly fine. But still, e-bike's a lot of fun. Walking's not quite as much fun. And if you are in places like I am today, riding around this, it's relaxing. It's stress-free. It actually gives you the communication with other people, which I probably shouldn't say this, but the actual conversations you have on the route when you're traveling along and you see me stop, I usually don't show those conversations, but I have conversations every single time I go out on the e-bike. There's always people to talk to. It turns out that talking to people actually also decreases the chance of dementia. So if you're on your e-bike, people want to talk to you, and just the talking to you and the conversing with other people also decreases the likelihood of dementia. So kind of a roundabout e-bike edition, but that is true. If you listen to these people, conversations with other people is very high on their list of decreasing likelihood of getting dementia. So I just find it's all interrelated. So what you need to do is get out there on an e-bike, get on these trails, because these trails are awesome. They seem to be scattered around all over the place, so it's hard to find which one is good for you. I mean, I just now found this one, and it's been here the whole time. It's just that 7 months after I got my bike, I found it. It's only like 2.5 miles from my house. Well, I guess it's a lot further than that, but less than 5 miles. So these are things that could be around your area. I'm also finding other places, and it's just amazing how many different places. I'm hoping pretty soon to go up to the Greenville area and spend the night there and take a trail one day, and then the next day take another trail. So I'm hoping to get a couple trails in. But I don't want to go unless I think I'm going to have a couple of days that are rideable. I don't want to go up there when it's snowing. That doesn't sound like any fun. I don't want to go up there when it's 4 degrees. That sounds like no fun either. So if I get a couple days in a row in which the temperature and the weather cooperates, I want to go up there and discover some of the trails. They got a lot of trails up there. They might have, I don't know how many trails. They got a lot of trails. But there's like 2 to 4 trails that are highly rated, and I want to check those out anyway. So you don't have to ride on the streets. Every time I ride, I pretty much ride over an hour. Almost never ride less than an hour. So I meet the minimum requirement for exercise, and I pretty much pedal. I don't use the throttle except usually to start. The rest of the time I just pedal. I stay on the assist usually 2 or pedal assist 1. And these trails like this, it's pedal assist 1 the whole time. If I'm on the streets, I'll get up to 2, except for, when I need to go fast. Like I don't need to go fast on these trails, but if there's a reason I need to go fast, which is usually to avoid traffic or to cut the time that I'm in a traffic area, I'll speed up for a short period of time and then get back to a pedal assist 2. Most of my rides I'm at pedal assist 2 where I'm riding through neighborhoods. I get a lot of exercise. Sometimes I get way too much exercise and I get totally exhausted. But I tried to not get to the total exhaustion point, but I have gotten there a few times. So get out there, ride your bike, and there'll be lots of good benefits. And just to toss out this benefit, I keep hating to do this, but if you're outside riding your e-bike, you're picking up some vitamin D, which improves your mood and helps a lot of things in your body. It even helps you fight off infection better. So, added bonus. Okay, let's just get back to enjoying the ride, which is a really cool ride. I mean, this is the 3rd time on a trail that is next to the same river. We're on 3 that are here in downtown Columbia. on 2 on one side of the river and 1 on the other side of the river. So we've been on 3. And I think that's all there are in downtown Columbia. So I hope you all enjoy the rest of this ride. I'm going to. All right. That'll be it for the discussion of dementia. At least I'm going to try not to talk about it anymore.
Like,
I've noticed that train track has a spot where you can ride a bike on it. Probably illegal though. That could be one way I could get around. I wonder if that trail is everywhere. But like I said, it's probably illegal. Probably can't do that. Looks inviting though. Interesting. Look at all those metal flowers. There's a bunch of them. Somebody spent some time trying to get these, and they only have it in this one area. I wonder what the significance is.
Wow, this is kind of cool. I like it. I didn't expect this here. A little island that's surrounded by beauty. Look at it. It's a bit loud. Man, you feel it. Except for the fact you hear all the cars. This is nice. Be a good place for a picnic if it wasn't so cold. Oh, yeah, nice, nice. Oh, look at this. Whoever thought of this part? This was really cool. So I guess we get to circle all around this little land spot in the middle of the water, the river. The river's on both sides of us, all sides of us. And here we are, ready to go back out. Is this, did I circle around, or is this halfway? I think this is halfway. It just has a viewing spot. So let's go view. This is probably going to require my helmet cam. Look at the water. Birds just hang out there all day long. Look at that water. Now we had a rain, so this is probably a little bit higher than normal. Beautiful. And a strange thing is that this water here is going this way, but when we go the other side over there, it's going the opposite direction. So somehow it's circling around. I love this. I should keep going though. I should keep going. I like that too. You can see how wet it is right now because of the, look how close it is to the, you can see the water is going this direction. It's going opposite of everywhere else right here. And this water here is going in the correct direction, just very slowly. Oh man, there's just so much cool stuff here. Look how pretty that whole section there is. However, it's very cold. Oh, feels colder than 48. Although I guess that's because the wind's blowing so heavy. But I was supposed to get up to 50, 52, 53. Of course, maybe that's still 2 or 3 hours away. I didn't quite get prepared enough for this trip. I guess it's okay. It's just the wind's stronger than I expected. But I have a wind jacket, so thankfully. As far as having a nice windy trail where you're mostly by yourself, this is it. And there's all sorts of good places that have picnics along here. Now that would be something to do, but probably a lot of people probably do this during the spring and summer period of time. Just not the winter. Less people doing it during the winter time. Oh, squirrel. I can tell I'm going uphill now because it's I don't get to coast. I did get to paddle 2 or 3 times and then coast, and now I got to paddle more. Well, that's okay. Good exercise. Help prevent dementia. That's what I'm hoping for. Or an extra benefit. Hello. Oh, look at all the people. Hey, pass it on your left. There you go, thank you.
I'm sorry. You don't have to.
You look a little cold.
Yeah.
Okay, passing on your left. Okay, thank you. There's not that many people. This is still fine. I imagine on a better day, there would be a lot more people out here. This is a pretty good number of people. But we've seen a lot more on the other trails on the other side. This is probably noon, so that we should, I don't know how close, probably close to noon. So we might be getting a lunch crowd here soon. Although, I don't know, this is kind of a windy day to be eating lunch. Could just go for a walk, though. Passing on your left. All right, thank you.
Yeah, you bet.
So, nice little ride through here. See cars parking here. I wonder where they're going. Doesn't look like there's a way in here. I don't think there is. Oh. Oh. No, it's locked. I wonder if they sometimes get the waterway up here. Hey. Ooh, big dog. Oh, nice. Nice dogs. Hello. Actually, I saw a lot less water on this area than I thought I would. I thought I would see a lot more since it was been raining so much. So pretty good. I had somebody tell me that I probably shouldn't go riding because there'd be water everywhere. But it really wasn't that bad. I actually gave you some rapids along here. They got some nice rapids. There's nothing to block the wind on this path.
I know, it's chilly.
Ooh, look at it. Yeah, nice rapids. I'd like to be getting on the inner tube and riding down that. That'd be fun. Even a kayak, maybe. I'm not that good at a kayak. Probably just crash. Turn sideways and then it just roll over. I'll be struggling to survive. So inner tube's better for me. Looks like fun though. Man, look at the rapid. Man. I used to ride rapids like that in the Smoky Mountains when I was younger. Probably wouldn't do it at this age. And wait. Alright, so here we are at the end of our journey. It was a nice journey. Hopefully everybody learned a little bit about dementia and as it relates to an e-bike. I try not to get into all the details of all the other ways to reduce dementia because it's just too many different things. Too detailed to even try to get into on a bicycle ride. Alright, let's see if I can get by here. Yeah, that wasn't too bad. One of the advantages of fat tire. Oh man, this is really, really fun. This was a good day. Let's see if I can do that turn. I did it. Yay! Of course, I don't have that extra 25 pounds of battery and stuff attached to it today. So it's a little easier, lighter to do turns like that. Woohoo! All right, good day. So, goodbye everybody. See y'all next time.